Hello class, today we are going to be practicing predicting themes. As strong readers, we know that interpreting themes in the text begins at the very start. Sometimes just by looking at a cover or reading the blurb on the back or inside of the book, you can start to use what you already know about common themes in text to create theories or guesses of what the theme might be. We do not want to wait until we have read the entire text to start interpreting. Today, I want to show you how readers make theories about a theme from the beginning. We are going to be using the title, cover, and blurb of the story to help us do this. For today's example, we are going to be using A Series of Unfortunate Events, Book the First, The Bad Beginnings by Lemony Snicket as our example. So, what can we infer about this book by just looking at the cover and title? Yes, we are judging a book by its cover. So, by looking at the picture over here, the cover, what can we conclude? Well, I see three little kids. Looks like she's the oldest. He must be in the middle, and this is a baby, so I'm assuming she would be the youngest child. Up here we can see a fire, a building on fire. We see the three kids again. And then we see this big, tall, kind of creepy-looking guy. So keep that in mind. So, what can we infer by the title? A series of unfortunate events. Do we know what unfortunate means? This would be a good time for you to ask around in the class. Okay, so now that we understand what unfortunate means, let's look at the subtitle, The Bad Beginning. So we know that this is book the first, so the first book in the series, so it makes sense that it's the beginning. So, the bad beginning. We know something bad happened. Okay, so now let's move on to the back of the book. This book has the blurb on the very back cover. Here's just a screencast of the back of the book. So I'm going to read the back of the book, or the blurb, to you guys. Dear reader, I'm sorry to say that the book you are holding in your hands is extremely unpleasant. It tells an unhappy tale about three very unlucky children. Even though they are charming and clever, the Baudelaire siblings led lives filled with misery and woe. From the very first page of this book, when the children are at the beach and receive terrible news, continuing on through the entire story, disaster lurks at their heels. One might say they are magnets for misfortune. In this short book alone, the three youngsters encounter a greedy and repulsive villain, itchy clothes, a disastrous fire, a plot to steal their fortune, and cold porridge for breakfast. It is my sad duty to write these unpleasant tales, but there is nothing stopping you from putting this book down at once and reading something happy, if you prefer that sort of thing. With all due respect, Lemony Snicket. So, what can we refer from the blurb? I would like the students to turn to each other and share about possible ideas, messages, or themes that they might have for the story and why. Okay, I'm going to move on to the final step. Okay, so here are some possible themes that I predict might be within this book and my reasonings behind it. So, some of my possible themes are a loss of innocence. As we can see from the blurb on the back, the children they're at a beach and they're having fun, and then something leads to them having a life of misery. And then the next possible theme is good versus evil. As we can see that the children may be confronting a villain, and then the quest for wealth. As the blurb says, a plot to steal their fortune. So somebody is wanting to steal the Baudelaire children's fortune.